Hey everyone. Okay, so you guys helped us make the opening scene of our new book. And we had so many great ideas, so many good votes. Let me show you. So by the end of our last book, we ended up with kids that were helping from 41 states and 26 different countries. And so this week, we definitely had some multiple states and multiple countries. And I think that it will kind of our team will continue to grow, which is so fun. So along with that is there's not like a wrong time to jump in. So if it's next week or the week after, it's all good. Okay. So some of you got some certificates this week for helping out and giving your ideas. If you did get one, you can send me a picture. I'll make a collage for next week of all of the classrooms who got certificates or awards, and I'll put them all together for us. A couple that I would like to highlight. So our very first votes came in from Mrs. Mushagians. I'm hoping I said that close to right. Class over at Valley Oak. She has a group of second graders, and we'll do this each week for kind of like the first votes of the week. But this one ends up being our very first votes of the entire book. So that's pretty fun. Great job to her class. Our next one is we had a brainstorming with the author session with Miss D'Amato's fourth graders, and they helped come up with some ideas for what's going to happen right after this opening scene. That could be you guys. We could do that next week. All right, we have our innovative educator of the week, and this is Principal Kellum over at Clovis Elementary. And what she decided to do was to have her librarian help with some of the classroom voting. And what a smart idea. So cool. So great job, Mrs. Kellum. All right. And we have our Wow, You're Amazing award, which goes to the Wide School in Texas. And they were hit with a hurricane this week and then came back and got all of their kids voting and sent in. And even though it was such a crazy week, they had just such amazing kind of a response to like, we've got this, everyone's good, and we're back in. What can we do to help? And I think they even, I would have to go back and do the math. They might have had the most votes total that were submitted this week. So, and I want you guys to think of, because this stands for something. There's a lot of things that could stand for. You can think about it and then you can look them up and find out. It's kind of neat what it stands for. Okay, so our results, what we're listening for while you're here. Okay, so we had some different choices and you want to know which ones are going to go in the book. I do too. Okay, so we had these really great designs made by a fabulous graphic designer named Kay. She's actually in Texas too. I don't think she knows the Wide School, but maybe they need to meet. So this was the AHA, which stands for kind of like, if there's a problem, are you sitting and kind of complaining about the problem, or are you coming up with an idea to solve that problem? So that was the AHA one. And then we had create your own story, which really represents like, you're in charge of your own story. Nobody's going to do the hard work for you. No one's going to make those decisions for you. You're in charge. And all the things that go well, it's because you made good decisions to get there. Like you're in charge of your story. And then this one is our beautiful rainbow. And there's a lot of things that this represents. This was drawn by a wonderful 6-year-old named Caroline. And she, when she had some medicine that was so hard on her body that all of her hair fell out. And you know what she did? She gave little rainbow packages to all of the other kids to help bring joy. And as part of our book last time, we were talking about, you know, when things are gray and kind of blah, you have the choice of being in the blah or being in the ahas, what we were talking about. But the blah is kind of gray and yuck. And then the aha is like where the color is and where it's something you really love and you care about it. And so that's what that means. If things are gray, be the color. And that means that even if things are hard, even if wearing a mask is hard, even if there's a lot of changes, that you get to be the person that makes someone smile. Okay, so that was a lot of listening. Let's get to it. Okay, whoa. Oh no, it didn't upload. Oh no, just kidding, it did. Our winner is Create Your Own Story. That will be going in the book. Okay, now let's see. Our second vote was the picture frame that is on her desk. And dun, 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 dun. Oh, you guys are going for the new one. Very cool. Okay, now we had a reading corner, kind of an art station, desk area, and then a game spot for Legos. And you guys decided Legos and game area. Okay, so what happens after this opening scene? Here is something you can know. Well, first of all, we still have to make the rest of the book. And so some of the schools are already kind of like involved. And so you guys will get to help make all of the decisions. You can ask your teacher if your school is already involved or if your school decides to be involved. Great. If not, I can always email your teacher kind of some check-ins and you guys can track along with what's happening in the story. So this is why I needed to find a really great illustrator, because this does not look like a book. This does not look like anything exciting. And then handing it off to Dimitro in the Ukraine, and he does his magic and it turns into a storyboard. And so part of what we're doing in the planning process is figuring out not just what happens in the story, but where things go and which things kind of need a double page spread, which things might, be able to do a smaller picture, or we have to do a sequence to show kind of like the actions that are happening. So there's a lot of really fun things that are happening right now. And today, actually, we had a meeting with Dimitro, our interpreter and our editor, and we talked through kind of like some of the parts and helping make sure it makes sense. But some of you guys, so I still have so many questions and things that I need help with. So that's where I bring them to you. You guys are making like the author decisions with us and for us. I did do kind of a quick sample of, which things kids were the most excited about. And it was, being able to ask questions. So next week, kind of like all the things open up. So there's a spot where you can send in questions, like ask the author, ask the illustrator. So that will be fun. Any of the schools that are like signed up and involved the whole time, they get to have their mascot in the book. So that was something that some of the kids said was like their favorite. And then isn't it so neat that if your school does the whole book, then guess what? When you guys do like buy the book, you're buying it directly from the printing press. How cool is that? And then any money that your book makes, then you guys get to decide as a school what you're going to do with that money to help the community. So helping the community with the book proceeds was another one of the things that kids decided, kind of like of all of the things we're doing, like that is so cool. So I'm super excited that we get to do that together. So next week, we have a couple of votes coming up. Here's the sneak peek that nobody knows about. So there's a mountain that is kind of like you go outside Ava's backyard and kind of like around, there's this mountain and it's called Albany Mountain, and no one goes up Albany Mountain. So I need your help deciding which sign is going to be at the bottom. And when she kind of peeks around the tree and sees it and is like, oh my goodness, we get to decide what is it that she sees as that trail. So I'm going to need your help with that next week. I can't wait to see what you guys decide. Okay, so you got your results and every single vote matters so much. Did you guys know that this one, and this one, they were only one vote away? How neat is that? and most of them were fairly close. So any of your votes really, really matter. And it makes it really fun that you guys are deciding. No grown-ups can even vote at all. Not even me. I can't even vote. All right, guys. Thank you so much for helping out. For those of you that are like in it next week, I can't wait to see what you guys decide. The vote's open Monday morning. They'll be open until Thursday, and then you'll get the results Friday. All right. Good job this week. Bye.